Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Smiling, making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of black talk radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
KBLA Talk 1580, good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. The show is called First Things First, and my first thing, always my first thing, is giving thanks and giving praises and asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. Mercury is retrograding for real, for real. I mean, for real, but we're going to be all right. Here's the thing. You know, for those of you who pay attention to stuff like that, Mercury retrograde, cars break down, equipment doesn't work. It takes longer to get from point A to point B. Sometimes there's miscommunication, and you can find yourself arguing about something that makes no sense with a loved one. We're going to take a deep breath, and we're going to do the best we can, and we're going to give each other extra time and grace, and give ourselves a little bit of love and grace, and we're going to focus on the things that are favored during this time. Things like reviewing things that we've done in the past, studying history, reconnecting with old friends or family members who we have lost touch with or had fallen out with in the past, finishing things we started, cleaning out our closets. Spring cleaning is favored right now. Get it done. If it's old and musty, get it out your life, unless you wanted it to be old and musty. I mean, if you're brewing kombucha, okay. But other than that, sweep it out, dust it out, vacuum that, open the windows, let some light in, and, be forgiving of yourself and others. Okay, that was me talking myself off the ledge, and I hope I talked you off as well in this Mercury retrograde moment that we are in. Anyway, so this is how we do things on a Thursday. Hour one, we look local, what's going on the left coast side of town. Hour two, we go national, international, and beyond. And in the third hour, we do a deep dive with a hot topic, an important person, a topic we need to know more about. And today we're on point with that plan for the most part. Today we will be talking for part of hour two, the bottom half of that hour, we'll be talking with the LA City Controller, Kenneth Mejia. That should be a very interesting conversation in the middle of budget season. Also, in hour three, we'll be speaking with Ricky Byers, who has a new program as part of her ministry to help handle toxic times. It's very on point, and I welcome that. Right now, and until Mr. Mejia joins us, it'll be me, you, and Miles, and the microphone, and 800-920-1580. Also, your socials. I love to hear your comments in our YouTube comment section, which you can find at KBLA 1580 on YouTube. I usually love your comments on Twitter and almost always on Instagram. You can find us at KBLA 1580 on all platforms. And you can find me at DiPrima Radio, DiPrima, and then radio. I even have my own YouTube channel, posting on there a little bit more lately. Would appreciate your follow, like, and subscribe to both the radio station and me. It helps us stay strong and keep it robust around here. My. There's a lot of things going on. Some of it I don't even know exactly, how to talk about or what to say. And of course, by that, people who know me know that I'm probably referring to this arrest, or, well, actually, he turned himself in, of Big U. That's something that is very, very, very consequential for Los Angeles, for people who live here, for those of us who are part of Los Angeles, particularly South Los Angeles, who have been supporters of, and I don't know, it's more than supporters, who have been involved in this urban peace movement. It's very consequential. If you're not following it, the feds yesterday took Eugene Henley Jr., Big U, into custody. They're charging him with a RICO violations. They are saying that he ran, quote, a vast mafia-like organization. The Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations is what RICO stands for. It's the DOJ. There are a bunch of other folks in custody in connection with this. I can't say that I have any great information as far as the feds go. This caught me by surprise. What I know about the case, I read on the various news outlets that put it up. And of course, I saw the conversation on Instagram, like you probably have, and wherever else it's going on. And I'm not going to claim to be an expert on who's a rival with who, and who may or may not have snitched on who, and what those music industry and hood politics are. I'm not going to claim to be an expert on that. I do know Big U. I've known him for a long time. As a gang interventionist, as a community activist, I've known him for, the football program and the work with young people. And it's hard for me to believe everything that the feds are saying. I never believe the official story anyway. I think we all should have been trained not to do that by now, not to automatically believe what law enforcement says, particularly when it comes to a black person. And what I do feel quite expert about when it comes to Big U and all of the fallout from this particular situation is that this is not an indictment of the gang intervention movement. And people who try to use it to undermine the gang reduction and youth development program within the mayor's office, or the many, many, many people who are working on the ground in communities all over LA every day to keep the peace, they are ops. They are the problem. Okay, I know that work. I was part of, and I consider myself still part of, although I, haven't been as active since, well, long story, but I'm still a huge supporter of the urban peace movement. And I feel like I've been a contributor to it over the years. Well, I don't feel like, I know that, okay? I ran the Summer of Success program in Baldwin Village for then Community Coalition leader Karen Bass, then council member Martin Ludlow, then California Endowment leader Dr. Robert Ross, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, I know quite a bit about that movement. And I know that if not for the work of gang intervention workers, LA would be a much more violent place. There would be many more body bags year after year after year after year. Communities would be less friendly, less hospitable for the people who live and work there. I've seen it with my eyes. I've heard it with my ears. I've seen beef squashed. I've seen rumors killed, rumors that could have killed humans being killed by interventionists. And I've been around long enough to know, to have been there when gang intervention workers, all of them worked for free. All of them worked for free. They did it because they wanted to help their communities. Sometimes they received support from local businesses or from people in the community, but they were not on salary. This thing about gang intervention being an actual job, that's very recent. Very, very recent. And the Gang Reduction and Youth Development Department is recent. It dates to the administration of Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa. But in the environment we're in right now, where folks want to blame everything from the wind to, Fire Chief Karens on our mayor, I think it is important not to allow this line of reasoning. Not only that, I have seen since the beginning of gang intervention, as I know it, okay, it's not the beginning because I wasn't in LA during some of the origins of the movement, but since I've been a witness, which is, 90s, right? I know that these gang intervention workers have been under attack. They've been under attack by the cops, they've been under attack by the criminals, they've been under attack by their own struggles, right? The struggles of doing the right thing, staying on the right path, and by people within the system that don't respect or see the work that they do. So I want to be very clear in this moment that we, Angelenos, anyone from Pacific Palisades to Watts and everything in between and all the way over, we all owe the gang intervention community and the work of the Gang Reduction and Youth Development Department. We all owe those folks a debt of gratitude because they made your city safer. And you could say, well, I live in Beverly Hills. It doesn't matter, because when the city is safer, when homicides go down, when the body bags are not piling up, it makes the city safer for everyone. It makes the city safer for you in Palisades. It makes the city safer for you in Bel Air. It makes the city safer for you in Carson, Gardena, Compton, etc., etc., etc. That's where we are. And it's in stark contrast to what's happened in other cities, right? Look at what Chicago's been going through, and Detroit and other big cities like ours. Shoot, Oakland for that matter. What is the difference? It's the Gang Reduction Youth Development. It is the intervention movement, which, like other city departments, is not going to be perfect. Like other city departments may garner lawsuits and people in those departments may get in trouble. Heck, even city council persons do that. Do we talk about abolishing the city council? I don't think so. Love to hear your opinion. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima, and this is KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Diane from Michigan, a disabled senior citizen trying to get by. Henry from Florida, a veteran fighting to make ends meet. Elena from Arizona, a mother struggling to feed her daughter. Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year, like Diane, Henry, and Elena. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
The revolution will not be televised.
What's up? It is Killer Mike, also known as Michael Render, and I'm encouraging you to listen to more, not less, of Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Senator Nina Turner on KBLA Talk 1580.
Fuck It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
A new day is on the horizon.
Behind every great moment in history, there's a woman whose story went untold. This March on KBLA Talk 1580, we're bringing those hidden narratives to light. Hear extraordinary stories of women who transformed science, politics, arts, and community. Women you've never heard of, but should know. Celebrating Women's History Month on KBLA Talk 1580, where every story matters.
KBLA Talk 1580 is pleased to announce that, like George and Weezy,
We're moving on now.
earlier this year, we were named as semifinalists for the American Climate Leadership Awards 2025. Wait for it. Wait for it.
You ready?
KBLA Talk 1580 was recently selected as one of 10 finalists being considered for this prestigious award. Hundreds of organizations, institutions, and even cities were nominated in the selection process. But KBLA Talk 1580 has made it to the finals. You're invited to watch live on Wednesday, April 16th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central, as Eco America announces the winner and the runner-up, awarding over $200,000 in prize money. To watch live, just go to ecoamerica.org to register and attend the online ceremony. That's ecoamerica.org. Don't miss the presentation of the American Climate Leadership Awards 2025, Wednesday, April 16th, and wish us luck. Caring about the climate, caring about the community, changing the conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
Point.
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace.
You're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com. I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, yeah. Like I said, we have a lot to talk about. Phone lines are open right now if you want to chime in at 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. That's the number to call. And I also want to say this. Over the years, I have seen intervention workers, urban peace activists get caught up in crime or things that are not what you would desire for them to be involved with. I've seen it over the years. But I've also seen that with cops and city council persons and tax collectors. And I'm not saying that to make an excuse. I'm saying that because I think that we have to put it in context of understanding this does not discredit the work, nor does it discredit gang reduction and youth development. Gang reduction and youth development, we've just seen some numbers come out and how far this city has come. And this city of Los Angeles has become a model for the entire world with the gang reduction and youth development model, which is a partnership between community stakeholders, i.e. community-based organizations and neighborhood activists, neighborhood councils, working together with people who are respected in their community, gang intervention workers, working in connection with law enforcement, in a way that is cooperative but not co-opted, and working with elected officials. This has yielded amazing results for LA. I mean, when I came here in the 90s, it was Wild West, right? Drive-bys and body bags piling up. Boy, numbers were in the thousands, typically, well, over 1,000. Let me put it that way. Typically, all the time. We're not living like that anymore. We're not living in the conditions of Chicago, Detroit. I haven't seen New York's homicide numbers, but typically they're pretty high. We're not living like Oakland. I mean, the irony for me of going home to the Bay Area and then seeing what's going on there and thinking, wow, I can't wait to get back to South Central LA where it's safer. I know that sounds crazy, but that's real right now. If you look at per capita and the numbers of people that are being murdered and attacked in communities, the fact that South LA, our communities are way safer than Hollywood in terms of the chances of you being murdered, violently attacked, robbed, that kind of thing. And that is attributable to gang intervention and youth development, along with the smarter approach by our city, which I just described, which is being copied. They're trying to copy it. It's hard to copy it without the people that know what they're doing. But it's been, they're trying to utilize similar models. I know my brother, the mayor in Newark, New Jersey, has very successfully adopted that model, and other cities are following suit and trying. I know that it's been exported to other nations. And this is one of the shining accomplishments of this city. I also want to send out prayers to the family and loved ones of Big U and all of South LA. We need to step up and each one of us be the change right now, hold the space for peace, hold the space for not getting caught up in rumors, because rumors cause retaliation that may be based on BS, right? A friend told me yesterday something that just stuck in my mind. Fake problems have no solutions. Fake problems have no solutions. So that means if you're taking an action based on a rumor, then that's a fake problem. And you can't solve it. All you're going to do is create real problems in response to a fake problem. So I'm going to ask us, even though this is an extreme situation, I'm going to ask us to be mindful, to be grown right now, not to spread rumors, not to be on that Instagram rumor mill. I'll leave it there. I don't want to be, talking about stuff that I'm not an expert on, but I can tell you a lot about gang intervention and what goes on to keep the peace and how we all benefit from it. And that is the context in which I know Big U. That's the context in which I've seen him move, and I've seen him do some great work in this city over the years. News, traffic, and sports right now. If you want to weigh in, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Alexandria Ikamoni with 4 things you should know from BIN News. Crews are dealing with another wildfire in western North Carolina, affecting many black residents and other races. The so-called Black Cove Fire has burned through more than 100 acres. This comes after battling larger wildfires earlier this month. Chicago, Illinois Mayor Brandon Johnson, who is black, is pushing for Chicago Public Schools and the Chicago Teachers Union to reach a deal and avoid a teacher strike that will affect many black kids. History is being made at Charlotte, North Carolina's Bojangles Coliseum. 4 men's teams and 4 women's teams are taking part in the first ever Black College Invitational Championship, which is held over the next 3 days. The organizer of the tournament called it HBCU March Madness. Black basketball fans are excited to see the 64-team March Madness field set. Mount St. Mary's and Xavier grab the final spots. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
Imagine a photograph of your favorite place in California. Then right in the middle of it, one piece of litter. Litter has no place in our lives, not one piece. Together, let's change that. Clean California. Zero litter is the goal. CleanCA.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It didn't take long for the Defense Department to have second thoughts about disrespecting Jackie Robinson. 3 hours after removing a story about Robinson's military service from its website, the Defense Department put the story back on the website late Wednesday afternoon. In the short time the story had been removed, the Defense Department faced intense criticism. Before Robinson became Major League Baseball's first black player in 1947, he was a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army. He was also a member of the 761st Tank Battalion, a group of soldiers known as the Black Panthers. Congratulations to Compton's Juju Watkins. The USC women's basketball star was named a first-team Associated Press All-American for the second straight year. UCLA center Lauren Betts is also a first-team All-American. Betts is the first UCLA women's player to be named a first-team All-American. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look. And unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So, let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California, once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at a gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event. Or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it. Together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
Stories are power. The Black Land Lost Narrative Archive Project is an effort to collect, preserve, and amplify stories of Black land loss. It will form an invaluable resource for scholars, authors, historians, educators, storytellers, policymakers, and change agents who wrestle with issues of restitution, reparations, racial inequality in home ownership, and the racial wealth gap. Through documenting stories of Black land loss, the archive will help demonstrate the magnitude of what Black families have lost and will continue the national dialogue to encourage paths to restitution, rebuilding, and healing. Support the Black Land Lost Narrative Archive Project by visiting www.blacklandlost.org or by donating at www.blacklandlost.org/donate. Spread the word to inspire awareness, activism, leadership, and change. And join us in making a lasting impact. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
At the tone, please record your message.
You ready?
Drop it!
Mr. Tavis Smiley, preach it. Thank you, man. Politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah. Whew. Okay, 800-920-1580. I'm laughing because some of y'all in this chat are hilarious. Kwamel's in there talking about the raggedy Vegas dating scene is because too many raggedy LA people are there. Okay. Well, I still love LA. And you do too, Kwamel. Quit playing. You're from Gardena.
What did he say about Vegas? What happened?
He's saying, he's talking about your town in the chat, Miles. And we were talking off the mic too about a little bit about how people do get on podcasts and just say all kinds of stuff. And it's the same with their lives. People want to go live on Instagram by themselves or with their friends and just say all kinds of stuff. And escalate situations. I don't pride myself in that. When you come on this radio show / podcast, it's not that we're trying to be boring, but I really don't want you to come on here and accuse another person of a crime or confess one. I want to know what's going on. What are we building? I mean, there's an ancient Yoruba saying that, are you going to build or are you going to destroy? And I always think about that because it's really primary to consciousness and human intention, good or evil. Are you going to build or are you going to destroy? I'm here to build. And we're here to build together. Kwamel says he's going to call in to clarify. Okay, 800-920-1580. Jerry Anderson says, seems like Vegas is going through a lot. It seems like hip hop is going through a lot. I don't remember this. I mean, there's always been drama. There's always been beef. There's always been violence. But not like this. Not that I remember. These RICO cases, I'm thinking about Georgia and Fonnie Willis, the, rappers you never heard of getting bumped off, and then some you have heard of getting murdered, and I do think, more people are in it. I think there's more pressure because of the internet. I mean, everybody has a channel now. Miles.
See, I also want this to be a lesson for the times that we're in. Technology is getting better. The police are using different technologies to solve these crimes now.
AI, for example.
They're using AI to solve these crimes. Right. They're using they're transcribing words you've said and tying them into old stuff. Like it's streets are not the place to be right now, ladies and gentlemen. So if you young and you out there, if you old and you out there, and you still trying to live a criminal life, now is not the time. Wrap that up, please. Because,
I like the way you said that. But yeah, they keep calling me back. That's what Luis Rodriguez said. It's not always that simple. I'm not making excuses for folks, but
I'm just saying, but also and I'm not in the streets either, so I get that, but there's no incentive right now anymore. And that's the thing too. Like, I just don't see an incentive to being out there. There's nothing to gain.
Yeah. Well, I also think the point of you don't have to say everything. Like, there's a time to STFU. There really is. I'm a talk radio host. I talk all day. That's my job. And sometimes I think I need to STFU. Like, what? Is that what we need to be focused on? I've been having this conversation with myself a lot lately because I want to keep us abreast of what's going on with the White House, and I want to keep us abreast of what's happening with our country. But I'm not interested in spending all of my time stirring up fear, negativity, or talking about Trump. I don't want to do that every day, all day for the next 4 years. That's not what I want to do, right? So knowing when to be quiet and when to talk and what to talk about and focusing on what we want, not what we don't want, without being a Pollyanna or a sucker who just walks around, like a target. It's a balance, right?
So everybody's hardwired though to just want to vent and get their 2 cents off and be heard. That's the cool thing now, is being heard and having this these eyes and attention on you for some reason. You know, that's what the economy is right now. Is an attention economy. And that's not going to be. That does nobody any good, I don't think.
To get attention. But if you're selling a thing, you have to have attention, right? I mean, you have to have attention. You're an artist. You have music available.
Yeah, but
people have to know about you. I mean, Kanye's the king of that, right? He knows how to manipulate the news cycle.
Yeah, but Kanye is also an attention whore. You know what I'm saying? Kanye is struggling when he doesn't have attention. You know what I mean? Like,
do you think he's struggling when he doesn't have attention, or do you think he's a master of selling his stuff? I mean, the guy, I don't know.
It crashes out. Like, when Kanye doesn't have the attention, Kanye, it seems like, my opinion, I'm not an expert, but he seems like a little bit of jealousy of Kendrick right now, jealousy of Trump, jealousy of...
What did he just said? Jay-Z and Beyonce's babies are retarded. So
saying.
That
you scorch earth when you're not having when the eyes are on you and your wife. Last week at the Grammys, it was all good. A week ago, when your shirts are selling and your merch is selling, you know what I mean, you're on top of the world. Now all of a sudden it's scorched earth.
But isn't his stuff always selling? I mean, that's the thing about Kanye. He was supposedly broke when he got a divorce from Kim Kardashian, and so I don't know. I guess his payout to her was based on his supposed brokenness, and then 15 minutes later he's a billionaire again. So I just wonder, is he just a master manipulator of attention who's willing to do anything, including swastikas and, you know, dissing Jay-Z's babies to manipulate the cycle and it works? Or is he really crashing out and having crises? Or is it both? Could both be true at the same time?
Feels to me like a star burning out. And I think that it's a struggle to keep that same gravity. That's a good analogy. It's a struggle to keep that same gravity and attention on you that you once had. And I think that's really what it's a struggle is. You know what I mean? It seems like it's deeper than just the surface level. It seems really spiritual. It seems like a lot of things are changing right now. And I think that's just what we're seeing in, people that can't get the same attention that they had before.
Mm-hmm.
Drake's kind of in the same position if we're talking hip hop. You know what I mean? The album sales aren't going the same for him, so I'm going to crash out on my label and the industry and every other artist, and whoa, it's me. And it's like, instead of just getting to the studio and give us good art, and now what you're, like you said, are you building or are you destroying? Yeah. You're complaining. You're not adding to the culture.
But how are his numbers? I mean, it looks like that some Sexy Songs for You are pretty good, doing pretty well. I didn't enjoy it. I actually did listen to it the other day while I was lifting weights. It wasn't. I don't think I'm the target demographic, but I think it's selling pretty well.
All right, but did you see the Billboard charts?
No.
5 out of the top 10 were Kendrick Lamar songs, and 1 was from Drake.
Oh no, I did not see that.
Kendrick
I
had
did see
1
that,
through 3.
that
Drake
Kendrick
had like
backed
4.
off of iHeart, but he's still going against his label.
Exactly.
Which is wild.
Instead of just getting in the studio
Did
and
you
saying,
see
I'm
the
going to kill it
statement that his label
on
put out? His label dissed him. That's crazy. How is his label was like, he lost a rap beef, which he started, and now he's blaming. I mean, I'm paraphrasing. That wasn't their exact words, but it's pretty much what they said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is, can your label do that? Why would your label do that? That seems like it's going against their own interests.
You're suing them.
Well, yeah, that's true. But you're still their artist. I don't know. I found it very bizarre. I'm confused, but again, I do not claim to be an expert on any of this stuff. I have my theories. But back to your point about attention economy, I think we are in an attention economy. Jerry says in the chat, Jerry Anderson, but are we really being heard? The people we're talking to are just listening for their opening to talk. I think we are being heard to an extent. And there we get back to the feds, which is where we started, right? Now they have AI, so they can say, search everything Dominique DiPrima ever posted on social media and see what she said about Tupac or Big U or your mama. And now I can make a compilation. I can quickly and methodically, and probably even if you deleted it, make an analysis.
I can search through it. I can look for something specific you said. I can transcribe your word and look for something you specifically said, a specific word, and find that conversation.
So we might not be being heard by the folks we want to be heard by, but we're definitely being heard by the Fed, Meta, Google, Alexa's hearing you for sure. And now she's not even promising to not share your data anymore. Now all bets are off. So, wow, that was cheerful, huh? That was cheery. But the thing about it is, number one, social media is a great tool. It can be a great tool. It can allow you to have a voice. It can allow a lot of community organizing. It can allow marketing, and it can allow communication. We just have to be smarter about it. Know when to shut up. Be media literate so we know how to discern between fact and fiction, right? And mis and disinformation. And know how not to get sucked down a rabbit hole into this doom mindset. And use the tool. I mean, use the tool for what it's good for. Don't turn the gun on ourselves. Is my point, I guess. 800-920-1580. This is First Things First. I'm Dominique DiPrima, and you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
The Eaton Canyon fire devastated many black families in Altadena, taking more than just homes. It took memories, legacies, and generational wealth. The heart of a black community is now in jeopardy, but Justice Coalition, led by Gage and King LA Lawyers for the People, are here to help. If you've lost your home, we are standing by to hold insurance companies and utilities accountable for the damage caused. When the community suffers, we all suffer. Together, we can rebuild what was lost. Your recovery starts today. Call 626-429-1259. That's 626-429-1259. Or visit www.eatonfirelawyers.net. Justice Coalition, Gage and King, LA Lawyers for the People. We got you. Call 626-429-1259. Visit www.eatonfirelawyers.net. Again, 626-429-1259. This is attorney advertising. Past results do not guarantee future outcomes. Legal representation is provided by licensed attorneys.
Point.
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace!
You're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com. I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, it's a good conversation, and I appreciate your insights, Miles. You know, I think everything we're talking about as far as, and what Jacqueline Anderson said too, about whether or not we're being heard. I wasn't playing when I was talking about Alexa. They just sent a notification saying they're changing their policy where you can no longer opt out of having your information recorded and saved and utilized. That's not an option anymore. And in the moment that we're in with law enforcement and ICE and the way that they're moving on a federal level under this current administration, the kind of backlash that we're in, it's more important than ever to pay attention, right? I'll tell you a little story. I was being considered to be on a show. I'm not going to say what show it was. I did not get that opportunity because somebody went back through my Twitter and saw something that they didn't like. And you think about that in other ways. It gives you pause. Now, do you think it's true that you can never really erase anything, that even when you delete something, I mean, it's there in some time machine, it's there in some, somewhere on the internet?
I'm pretty sure it is. I think it is. I think it is probably hard to delete. Somebody somewhere got some backlog.
As a screenshot, or there's those logging apps that log everything that was on Twitter, whatever.
I think, the company, they definitely have the data, I'm sure. So I don't think they get rid of all their info.
Yeah, it's like when people get arrested and they say, he Google searched how to rob a bank in Houston. And then suddenly they have it, even though he was Joe Anonymous, and you wouldn't have thought they would be tracking him, but somehow they can suddenly pull up his Google searches.
Right. I mean, but then, you when you make these type of like arrests and stuff too, you find their search histories on their computers and their, you get their Twitters and everything. So once you have access to their actual personal files, then it's all right there.
Yeah. So, I mean, and it's interesting, Miles, because when I was saying that I think we can use, a gun is a tool too. We use it, we can use it for positive purposes, hunting, whatever. We can also use it to destroy our communities and go to war. I felt like we weren't on the same page. Like you're going, maybe it's not a good tool. So are you saying that we should get off of these apps forever? It almost doesn't feel like Mad Dog Media TV says, in the chat says metadata doesn't delete, right? And Jerry Anderson says law enforcement screenshots the whole internet every second of every day. Well, in my case, it wasn't, that. It wasn't a criminal activity. They just didn't like my opinion. They didn't like something I said. So therefore, I was disqualified from that job. But I don't know. I see you doing business on the internet. I see you using the apps. Are you saying that we should get off of them? Or that we should move over to the black-owned, the fan base, I don't think Blue Sky's black-owned, but I did get on it. I don't know. What are you saying?
I mean, I think be intentional with whatever you do on the internet. Use it as a tool. Don't let it use you, because it will use you as well. You are a tool to the You know what I mean? These big companies and apps and social media, these platforms aren't really, they're being predatory towards the people. They're being predatory for, for the clicks, for the eyeballs. These labels are signing these rappers based off of the beefs they have and the clicks and streams they can get, off of Murder Me, off our backs. You know what I'm saying? These blog sites reposted, and the academics and the shade rooms, I'll say their names. You know what I mean? These are the ones that are eating off of our attention onto the BS. So us feeding that machine, whether it be through making the art that they consume, the content they consume, or with our eyeballs, be intentional with it. These things are not your friends. Don't go on these podcasts that are only talking about beefs and street beefs and come to your neighborhoods and, hood tour. Like, it's okay, but get a community tour. Don't get a hood tour and that's what gets you your clicks. Like I said, are you building or are you destroying? How are you using the tool? So, that's how I feel about it. I'm neutral on it, but, it's our intent with it.
Well, I think that understanding is important, too. It's like the conversation I had with Akili yesterday, where he said he didn't understand why Elon Musk wanted our Social Security data. And I'm telling you, what did I say? That is their goal. That is, if they're vampires, that's blood. That data, that information about you, and everything we post, every live, every comment is data for them. It's fresh blood. And so I think the way you put it is good, because if we're intentional about it and understand, okay, I'm pulling up to give you some of my blood today, they're going to profit off it. More than likely you're not. Then I can say, why am I doing this? Am I being intentional about it? I mean, when I post online, I mostly post to connect with, our KBLA delegation, to kind of let people know what's going on. Sometimes I'm opining because I'm mad, which may not be the best use of the internet.
Right. But like I said, but some people, they get their fix off of the likes, the clicks, the comments, the followers, the conversation around
but we all like likes and clicks, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, we do, but some people, that's all they're there for.
Yeah.
They're there for that's what I said. Some people are just there for the attention. It's an attention economy, the eyeballs on them.
Yeah. Right.
High for them. Exactly. Benjamin said it's a high for them. They feed on
there's no doubt that it's addictive. It's a drug, that attention. And, I've always said I'd rather have the fortune than the fame. And the universe gave me a little bit of fame and not fortune yet.
Yeah.
Yet. But to your point, how far are you willing to go to get that fix?
I mean, well, look, we're watching billionaires do it every day.
You ain't seen me up there naked yet, so. Apparently I'm not a hardcore addict. But I think it's a really important point for each one of us to look at, like, what are we doing? Why are we doing that? And what will become of it? Okay, Kwamel is on the phone, but Kwamel, calling from Gardena. We about to go into this news, traffic, and sports. So we're going to just start our conversation, since you was talking smack about LA and Vegas in one quote, and we'll continue it after news, traffic, and sports. Hi, Kwamel.
Okay, yeah. I was trying to wait till the actual top of the hour for that very reason.
Oh, well, you don't have to wait. Just stay with me.
Okay, now, I mean, I'm from here, so of course I love LA and I love LA people. And I actually am pretty fond of Vegas, and I'm looking forward to going back. But like, in my dating life, all the ladies that I've had word with, that are in Vegas, basically kind of talk about all these raggedy dudes over there, and usually raggedy brothers. And I'm noticing that with Vegas, as with Denver, it's a lot of, I've heard this for 30 years, that it's a lot of like, kind of crummy people, bad people that are like trying to reinvent themselves, or they're still the same old raggedy person from LA, from the Bay, from New York. You know what I'm saying? They move to these places to kind of turn the mother out, act a GD fool. And this is what I hear about. So that's why I said up in the chat, that the dating scene in Vegas would be raggedy, because it's all these raggedy dudes be going over there thinking, oh, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So I don't know if Miles is as a native kind of went through hearing that from Vegas ladies back when he lived out there, but That's just what I've heard.
All right, we're going to continue the conversation after news, traffic, and sports. Carmel, I can't wait to hear on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Alexandria Ikamoni with 4 things you should know from BIN News. Crews are dealing with another